So yesterday I talked about the highs of 2017 and feeling gratitude for those things, but today I'm going to talk about the lows. And I think it's important to talk about the lows for a few reasons. One is when you reflect on the lows of the previous year, you have a chance to figure out and extract what you can learn from those lows. The other reason why lows are important to talk about is because it helps you get a better understanding of the fact that, life has ups and downs and it's not going to be all fantastic, wonderful things. There's going to be some dark times that you have to process and get through. And the other reason why going through the lows of your life are to, I guess, better process the emotions, move on, and even within those things, you can actually find things to be grateful for. And so I find that to be quite a healing process. And so that's why I encourage everyone to reflect on their highs and their lows throughout the past year. So let's get to them, and I'll talk about them very openly. So the first one is, I think the biggest one for me last year was the toxicity aspect, which is, I found that in 2017 there was a lot of toxicity. A lot of people felt emboldened to be more divisive, more bullying, to be more xenophobic and hateful and fearful and things and sexist and racist, and it got to be a lot. I mean, especially when I was on Twitter, a little bit on Facebook and LinkedIn too, but even more so actually in real life. I had more examples of people saying things to me that were outright racist or hateful, which I've never felt before, which was it was hard for me, and my wife and I were talking about this, and I think that was really a big challenge for us. What have I learned? I mean, creating more bridges, creating more understanding, creating more empathy is the way to go. I'm going to be more firmly in 2018 trying to bridge divide versus create divide. I'm going to be more empathetic and try to understand people versus, being the same way people are, maybe perhaps trolling on me. So that's something that I've learned to deal with. The other big issue for me really has been my weight. Like I typically have been losing weight on this Fit in My Life journey and with the weight loss challenge I'm part of. And, it was actually ironic. I won my first ever weight loss challenge, 6-week weight loss challenge, which was great. Lost 22 pounds, but then I gained it all back and even more over another 4 months, and that kind of bummed me out. So I'm now at a much higher weight currently than I have been in all of 2017. So what do I learn? Again, it's a journey. It's something for me that I got to constantly work on. I'm working on my mindset. I'm striving really hard to get better at that. And again, reaching out to my network and getting support is a great way to do that. And I do that with my Fit in My Life Facebook group, and I also do that with the people on every single social network, as well as my friends and family. So the weight thing has been a challenge. DYPB, I love DYPB. I've been doing it for 5 years. Last year, in 2016, I had the best year ever. This year, it was good, but it wasn't as good as the previous year. So my chess mind, my over-analytical mind is thinking about all the different parts that weren't as good as last year. So I think about those things, but that analysis allows me to, strive for better, strive for more greatness, to work with people to try to make it as best I can. So that's something that's in my head. And then a couple of small things. I lost my university teaching contract. They're all taken up by people who are full-time employees, so I didn't get it. I'll keep trying to get that back because I love teaching the kids. They're all fourth-year strategy students, so it's great. I lost a contract at McGill University for speaking, not through my fault, but they just didn't have the turnout, and I was super excited about that one because I've never actually spoken there, so that was kind of a bummer. And then another big thing was actually for about 6 to 8 weeks, I was feeling so overwhelmed that I just shut down, stopped working as efficiently as I usually do. And what's worse is that, you're already feeling like you're in a hole, and then your lack of work makes you further in a hole. And so a whole week would go by, and I'm like, wow, I've done so little. And it's funny because I think that's an entrepreneur thing, a parent-entrepreneur thing, or whatever it might be. But, we have amazing times to just hustle, 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 and impact, results, results. And then during that time, I just wasn't feeling it, and it was hard to get over. And it's funny, when it gets over, you just kind of snap and get back to work, and there I was. So that was something. And the last thing I'll share that was a bit of a low for me was, I'm going to say my favorite uncle died. He's my favorite uncle because he was the best uncle of my life, the first uncle I knew growing up in New Brunswick, and he died last month. And it made me really think because, we appreciate all the people in our lives, and, he was a really big piece of my life the first 20 years. And then when I went to university and came back, he was around another 10 or so years. But then, I didn't see him very much, only at weddings or at, special events. And then I maybe took it for granted. And, he was a hard worker and he taught me a lot. And he was always, asking me how I was doing about my business and all the kind of things. And I really appreciate that. And I really miss him. And I think that impact only really shook me after I realized he was gone. So, and again, what does that teach me? Teach me about life being precious. It teaches me that there are incredible people in your lives, past or recent past or present, that maybe they don't get the same kind of, attention that they should, but I think they should get that attention. So I think it's important for us to acknowledge those people, give them a quick call, just say thank you, I'm grateful, you're amazing, I love you, whatever you want to say. But I think it's important for us to do that. So those are some of the lows from 2017, and I know the other reason why it's important to talk about lows is because they're going to happen in the next year. So I have all these big plans, but as long as you're making plans for how you want things to happen, you also have to make plans for when things just happen. And so you got to book that time and book 80% of your time and have 20% of your time available for the things that just happen. So I know this video is a little bit longer than my normal ones, but I just wanted to share with you because I think it's important, and I'm happy to hear your what were some of your lows of 2017, how would you reflect on it, and what did you learn from it, and how are you going to take that learning and apply it to next year. And if you didn't see my other post about my highs 2018, you can see that one. I'll put the link here, and also from my previous few posts, you can see the stuff that I'm talking about in terms of my best 9 and my New Year's wishes and things like that. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the content. You'll see me out there on social media. If you have any questions, you can ask below in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond. All right, all the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.